Hey YouTube, this is Arceus Lord 13. So, the other day I was talking with my brother and my sister, Nuberology. We were putting superheroes and supervillains into different categories. I've already recorded a video about characters' moralities, although I should probably redo that. But today we will be looking at superheroes and supervillains, both Marvel and DC, and determining where we believe they fit regarding their battle style. In other words, like if the characters were in a video game, what role would each character fill out in their squad? There are 4 roles that we'll be placing characters in. And like attackers, support, tank, and healers. Or at least we will be once we actually get to the actual classification. And the intro, while I was writing the script for this, I realized that it would be too long to put at the start of a video, so I'm making it as its own video. But let me go into the categories. As I said, attackers, support, tank, and healers. And I'm pretty sure that the categories are a little self-explanatory, but I'll still add some extra explanation. I wrote as the same. It should be like, as the name suggests, attackers attack. They'd have a high attack level and maybe an aggressive nature. In the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes mobile game, like not sponsored, but I still recommend that I like that game, they have some examples for each category. For attacker, they have characters like Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. And I was also looking for some Pokemon to fit into these categories. So attackers would be Pokemon with high attack or special attack. And the Pokemon like Machamp, Alakazam, or Salamence. The supports are a little bit more complicated. As far as stats go, they don't really have anything too impressive. They may have high stats overall, or could be low stats or just perfectly even, but they would all be about equal, perhaps. But maybe they'd have high levels of defense or health, but otherwise I can't really think of anything. But they do have one thing, like relatively low attack strength, at least compared to the attackers. But support characters have a way to either make their team's day better, or make the enemy team's day much worse, and like make them not fire on all cylinders. Like decrease their stats pretty much. Galaxy of Heroes, some of the support characters are Grand Moff Tarkin, Admiral Akbar, General Hux, and R2-D2. They don't do much damage themselves, but they can weaken the other team or strengthen their own. As for support Pokemon, I'm thinking of Meganium, Mr. Mime, and Wobbuffet. And although Wobbuffet could possibly be a tank. Mr. Mime and Meganium have a lot of moves that protect themselves or their team, but not many that will deal damage. And Wobbuffet, well, all the moves it can learn either protect your team or direct the damage that it would have taken like right back at the enemy. And the tanks are interesting. They have a high defense and or health, but they can also sometimes deal quite a bit of damage. They can take quite a few hits and deal them right back. They'd have high defense and or health, and in all but one case that I've found, they have average to high attack. In Galaxy of Heroes, some tank characters include Mace Windu, Royal Guards, and Stormtroopers. Not completely sure about that last one, but sorry. As for Pokemon, I found a few interesting ones that could be considered tanks. Some of them really make sense. It's like Aggron, Steelix, and like Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. Anyone who's had to go against one of those knows just how difficult they can be to defeat. And like, blah, blah. There is like one Pokemon who might fit into the tank category that you really would not expect. Shuckle. Excluding Mega Evolutions and the Eternamax form of Eternus, which is like so powerful that you can't get it in the game without cheating. Meaning like Shuckle has the highest base defense and special defense in stats. With special defense, it's the only one that comes close to Shuckle. It is Regice. And with normal defense, while it is tied for Mega Aggron and Mega Steelix, it's the closest one, and in terms of defense, is Akataka. What? I don't know anything beyond Generation 6. But whatever the hell that is it's Steelix and Regirock. Of course, Shuckle's other stats are all pretty low, but it can hold out for a long time. And the final category is healers. Unlike the other three groups, the healer category is not mutually exclusive, although it turns out that in Galaxy of Heroes that it is. But as we get into the actual classifying of the character, there will be some characters who we feel might make for good healers at some point, even though they may not actually be healers in any of the media that we are familiar with. But what I was saying here is that there can be some overlap between healers and the other three categories. Although most of the time they're support. It's like an overlap with support. From Galaxy of Heroes, one of the things is that there aren't really any characters from the movies who are healers. But the most notable ones are like Old Daka, who could literally raise the dead, and IG-11, and who was like reprogrammed to protect Baby Yoda. the Pokemon healers are usually the ones that can be seen helping Nurse Joy, naming like Chansey, Blissey, and Audino. In fact, I feel that Chansey and Blissey are two of the few healers that are both tanks. And two of the few characters who are both tanks and healers, due to just how much HP they have. Wow. And checking in the Bulbapedia website, Chansey and Blissey are like the two highest in terms of HP. Like the only, although Blissey is tied with Eternamax. Yeah, there's a reason in why you can't get that in game, like just based on those stats. And but as I mentioned in the start, or the intro went longer than expected. So I'm just going to, so this is its own separate video. Later, Nuparella and I will come back and categorize the supers. We'll see you then.